We are very pleased now to be joined here at the Edison Electric Institute conference with Patti Poppe. She's the CEO of PG&E. Patti, great to have you on the program. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Brian.
I think, and I'm saying this without the usual TV hyperbole, I think you have probably the hardest and most complicated job in utilities, because not only are you dealing with demand, you're dealing with data centers, you're also dealing with the effects, the residual effects of a 2018 fire, and how to navigate this complex world of more power, safer power, but not spiking electric rates. How do you thread that needle?
Well, we have a perfect solution, and it's called the simple, affordable model. It allows for infrastructure investment that then is offset by operating maintenance cost reductions, which we've delivered significant cost savings over the last several years. We have load growth that helps more fully utilize our assets, and then improving credit metrics results in lower cost financing. That has allowed us to actually lower rates for customers. In the face of the national trends, our rates are down. We've lowered our rates 3 times in the last 15 months, and they're going down again in 2026, while we are growing our earnings at over 9% a year.
Because many in California overall as a state still pays some of, if not the highest electric rates in the country, but you also have some of the most complex conditions in the country. So you can talk to your customers right now. How do you say to them, listen, we're bringing costs down, but we also want to make it safer? Because I've been to your beautiful state. I was just there. There's these amazing old growth trees everywhere. There's a lot of them, and a lot of power lines. How do you mitigate the fire risk?
Well, first and foremost, we have layers of protection that starts with hardening the system. We, this year, buried our 1,000th mile of power lines, and we did that at $1 million a mile less than when we started just a couple years ago. So we're lowering the cost because we're getting better at it. We're doing it at scale. That lower cost infrastructure investment, then combined with technology, we're in the technology hub of the world. We have amazing technology that underpins our situational awareness and our responsiveness when there is an ignition. This year, in fact, we had our ignitions were down 35% over last year, even though the fire conditions were very much the same. Our layers of protection are working that makes customers safer.
And that's the most important thing. You referenced also technology. You are literally in the San Francisco Bay Area where almost every AI company is based. The headquarters are there. Are you able to also then grow production capacity to make actual data centers while still doing all the projects you just laid out?
Yeah, that's what's so exciting. This load growth, we call it rate-reducing load growth, because for all the hand-wringing about AI raising rates, it's quite simple. You just have to price it right. So in our service area, our residential customers do not subsidize large load. That large load pays its full freight, and because they are based there, they're growing there, the compute demand is up in our service area. That more fully utilizes our grid. There's new revenue that's coming. We haven't had load growth in decades. We've got load growth.
But they'll pay for it.
And of course
that's critical,
they'll pay
right?
for it, sure.
Because you're a Michigander, and you gave me an example before we came on air where, you know, if you want to open a new car plant in Michigan, they're going to give you a lower utility rate because you're going to hire a bunch of people. Data centers don't take a lot of people. So how do we make sure that they cover their own, pay their own way without a lot of added jobs?
It's all about pricing, rate design, and we've got the right rate designs in California so that residential customers only benefit from this new and growing load. And yes, our customers, all of my large tech customers, they're using more compute. It's not just building a hyperscaler data center that's enormous out in some cornfield somewhere. We're talking about compute data centers all over our service area for companies, say PayPal or Zoom or Netflix. They're using AI, DoorDash, using AI in their daily business. That takes more compute.
But is that compute coming from your area, or is it out
You bet. No, it's coming in our area.
Right?
Latency matters in those inference models, so having the compute near those headquarters and near where the technical talent is, where you have the people who can unleash the power of AI, that matters.
So if I wanted to build a 1 gigawatt data center an hour from Silicon Valley, could I do it?
Yeah, in fact, we have a site up in Woodland, just outside of Sacramento, that's prepared and equipped for up to 1 gigawatt. But most of our applications are for 100 megawatts because, again, it's distributed data centers.
Okay.
We call that Goldilocks load.
Okay.
It's
10 mid-sized ones,
yes,
not some gigantic.
Exactly. So it's big enough to matter, to provide that benefit to all of my customers, but not so big that it's causing a problem.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up with this, because speaking of big, you have a giant nuclear plant, the only one left in California, Diablo Canyon. It's about 1/9 of the daily power production, give or take 1/8 to 1/10, whatever it might be. There was talk about shutting it down a few years ago. Now, thankfully, they're going to extend it. But there is a weird, so it sounds like the federal government has extended it, but the state hasn't. What's the status of Diablo Canyon?
Yeah, so we're on a 5-year extension from the state. The state will need to take further action to extend the plant further. However, we applied for a Nuclear Regulatory Commission license, and they've given us a 20-year permission to operate, conditional upon a few final permits in the state of California. But the state will have to take legislative action in the coming years to extend that plant further. The one thing I can tell you about that plant is we are so proud to serve California with base load, greenhouse gas-free energy. We're one of the top performing nuclear plants in the world, and my team is equipped and ready to serve when called.
But it's insane to me that they were talking about shutting it down.
Well,
and the state hasn't, so the federal government said longer is fine. The state has not. That seems weird to me.
Well, the state did take one action, and you know, I applaud Gavin Newsom for actually pushing the state to extend Diablo Canyon for 5 years. I think it will be important that there's legislative action. It will be necessary to have legislative action to extend it even further.
Patti Poppe, CEO of PG&E, really appreciate your time sitting down with us here at the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.